side of number 10. Very passionate local crowd have been enjoying all of the action, and he had a world record breaking swim this morning, which I'm sure you all enjoyed as we did. And there's your start list. You can see Chung Jin-ah going in 1, Robert Kaza in 2, Woodbridge is 3rd, Lesen Frolov, Kurpeljanski, all within a 30-second span. It comes down to David Swoboda, who has 37 seconds to make up. And an athlete of his repute, well, you never know. We are now down to the final seconds.
Message for
as the tension mounts here. Athletic careers and respective athletic Olympic futures at stake. Of course, a spot at the Olympic Games for whoever finishes in first place. And of course, if it were the Korean to finish in first place, then the second place athlete would have the place reallocated to them. And obviously we're just confirming you that detail. It would be pretty unprecedented, but we shall endeavour to find out for you just exactly what would happen. And 36 of the world's finest there, winding up, getting ready to roll, looking tense. Kinderis of Lithuania there, just shaking off the legs. Greenwich Park has been a wonderful location and a great preamble to what will be the venue for the Olympic Games. And this itself, the final countdown here. We've had the 10-second clock up here. Chung Jin-ah, the South Korean, he'll be ready to go. And here we go with the countdown clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chung Jin-ah out of the blocks, he's off, followed very quickly by Robert Kaza. Chung Jin-ah from Kaza. Woodbridge now underway, hence the rapturous applause from the passionate British crowd. Chung Jin-ah, the South Korean, on the right hand side of your screen. Robert Kaza, although, is the first to score the green. And again it's Chung Jin-ah. Takes 3, Kaza's on 3. Kaza gets away, so Kaza's made up that point differential there. Chung Jin-ah changes place back into second there. There's a lovely long shot there of Robert Kaza. He's managed to establish what could be maybe a 4 to 5 second lead over the South Korean, Chung Jin-ah. And we will find out who gets away. Woodbridge still in position, although Woodbridge gets away now. I think we also have Alexander Lesen away there, but it's certainly Woodbridge is away. Lesen, as we said, is also away, but Nick Woodbridge hot on his heels. We mentioned that he'd been out in the training camp, out at high altitude along with the British team, and that'll be hoping to serve him well. Likewise, Ilya Frolov, the Russian, there underway. Dmytro Kurpeljanski, he's in 6. It's Dimitar Benz there, just in your screen, he's in 7. There we go, just sneaking past there at high speed. And there's young Jamie Cook there, as we mentioned, the powerful run. But up in Robert Kaza here. Robert Kaza pushing it out, giving it all he's got. As you can see, a good margin there, probably about 30 to 40 metre gap there. Robert Kaza, the Hungarian, he's in fine form. He's not a comfortable lead, because obviously that's just the first of the 3 shoots that he has done. And of course, the remaining athletes still ready to get underway, such as the gap. This is the elite, this is the very best in the world, this is the World Cup final. And we're certainly enjoying all of the action here at London's Greenwich Park. Remy Golis of Poland there still waiting along with Christopher Pat. And that was Pavlo Kurpeljanski, number 29, that just raced past in your screen there. Raman Pinchuk number 32 of Belarus. But it's that man there, Robert Kaza. Robert Kaza, a very hilly course there. You can see just his arms flailing there as he tries to control himself. That will obviously be something that impacts in the second set of the 1,000 metres. You can just see there the gradient of the hill that the athletes have to come down. You can just see them checking their stride, just making sure that they're in prime position. Obviously a little bit slippy underfoot. It is London weather. We've had some heavy rain over the last few days, but it's Robert Kaza. He's raining down in the competition just now, looking strong, and he's widened that gap over Chung Jin-ah, the South Korean, as you can see, probably up to about 60 metres now, and he's pushed out really hard. And of course the athletes now coming back into the stadium. There's Chung Jin-ah in 2, and there's a very welcome sight there for Alexander Lesson. He's managed to sustain his 3rd place, and I think just over his shoulder was Nicholas Woodbridge, the Great Britain athlete who we spoke to this morning. He's back in full training after his academic hiatus, so he's obviously looking for great things here. He'll be hoping to sustain it. Likewise, Robert Kaza. There's the cheer for Jamie Cook, number 10 there, and Svoboda just on his shoulder. Svoboda, of course, European champion, very tough competitor, very experienced, and it's Robert Kaza. He's in position just now. First shot's away.
One green light, so look at position number 2 on the
Robert Kaza and Chung Jin-ah, closely followed by Kurpulansky and Alexander Lesson. Woodbridge in amongst it too. Frolov, the Russian there. Who's got the skills? Well, it's Robert Kaza. He's sustained that advantage. Great shooting skills. The Korean Chung Jin-ah, he's not going to let this go on the second of the shoots here. Robert Kaza there in the forefront of your screen. The Hungarian looking strong, followed by the Korean, and I believe that's Alexander Lesson following up. Alexander Lesson, the Russian here, as we see, looking strong. Alexander Lesson repping it out here. Well, there's a nice clear shot. A wonderful venue and wonderful action here. And as we know, it was such a tight start to this. Number 6, Dmytro Kurpulansky there. And that's the second shot completed for the majority of athletes there. Of course, ranking points so important. And there's only one man that's ranked first at the moment. It's Robert Kaza, the Hungarian, looking powerful, looking strong. He wouldn't have been one of the form athletes coming into this. He's done incredibly well, had a great fence, really strong in the water, and a very clear round. In fact, an actually clear round in the riding element. So Robert Kaza, meritorious of that position. And there's the long and rangy Krungolskas there, just running in behind the tree there. And there's the remaining athletes coming out of their second shot. Goalist hoist of Poland and France respectively. And these guys now running for position, running for pride, but running for prime position and running for pride of place. It's Robert Kaza. Krungolskas there, very strangely just walking there. I wonder if he's picked up an injury. He seems to have quit on the course here. We'll bring you an update as soon as we can, but the most important statistic is that Chung Jin-ah is in second. And look at this, a sprint being put on by Alexander Lesson. He's got the young Korean in his sights, he's got him on his shoulder. Alexander Lesson decides to push. He knows that second place will help him in terms of overall World Cup standings. Robert Kaza, the Hungarian, as he approaches his third and final shot. Still got a good way to go though. That track, obviously, you saw where the horses were riding earlier on, so it's obviously very heavy going underfoot. That's going to kill the calves, that's going to really test the aerobic capacities of these fine athletes. And it's Kaza, he's clear and free at the moment if he can manage to sustain his shooting form. But as you can see, the gap just building up there. Alexander Lesin, the Russian, he's in second. Chung Jin-ah, there's Lesin, followed by Chung Jin-ah. Just gets his arms loose, just shaking off the lactic acid. Well, he would have settled for this morning. What can he do from here? Robert Kaza, keep it together. Composure, patience, and a steady eye, the key now for the Hungarian. Robert Kaza there, just struggling, just momentarily. And there's 4 up for Chung Jin-ah. 3 and 4 indeed for Robert Kaza there. Kaza's away. Jin-ah Kim of Korea, he's got 1 more that he needs to get. And Robert Kaza, he's been consistent, he's been strong. There's Chung Jin-ah, he's in second place, but looking very leg weary. There's Alexander Lesin, who had established a running lead, but obviously has slipped in terms of the shooting position. And what do we have here? We have Nick Woodbridge, the British athlete here. He's pushing hard, he wants to place, he wants to be on that podium. He worked his heart and lungs out. It is a high altitude training camp. Does he have the engine? Does he have the capacity to catch up with Alexander Lesin? We're into the final throes of what has been an enthralling World Cup final. Can Nick Woodbridge give some British cheer? Chung Jin-ah, the South Korean, he's trying to sustain second place. Alexander Lesin, well, it's a real foot race now, but it's Robert Kaza, the Hungarian, in the forefront of your screen. Well, he's been in imperious form. There's young Sam Saxon sneaking through there. So the remainder of the field just finishing off their shooting element. And obviously now we're into the final stages of what has been a dramatic battle. Chung Jin-ah has absolutely tied up here. Nick Woodbridge has seen the gap. He takes Alexander Lesin. Does he have the strength? Does he have the power? He does. Chung Jin-ah of Korea is gone. Alexander Lesin, well, he's looking into the footsteps now of Nick Woodbridge. Can he sustain what has been a lung-bursting effort thus far? Robert Kaza doesn't care. He's in first place. He's free and easy. And can he negotiate this final hill? You can just see how steep that gradient is there. The arms flailing, the heart and lungs pounding. Some encouragement there from the Hungarian coach there as he sprints along in his lovely red tracksuit. But it is Robert Kaza more than meriting this lead at this stage. Can he sustain it? Can he push it out to become the World Cup champion here in London? Robert Kaza of Hungary. Now, obviously, the local British interest is centring around Nick Woodbridge and Alexander Lesin, who will manage to take second and third respectively. At this stage, it's all about Kaza. He's the champion, if he can sustain it. Robert Kaza coming into this, celebrates to the crowd. That's a fantastic sight there. And Nick Woodbridge is trying to push Alexander Lesin, but let's focus all of our attentions here on Robert Kaza, because he deserves all the respect, all the admiration, all the glory as he approaches the final straight. You can see exactly what it means to him. This will be his first ever World Cup title. There's your World Cup champion, Robert Kaza, in first place for Hungary. Let's try and get into the second position here. Alexander Lesin just had too much in the tank. Just managed to get away from Nicholas Woodbridge. He takes second, followed very closely by Nick Woodbridge, back in top form. First and second embrace. They receive the first, second and third positions there. Alexander Lesin, wow, what a race between him and Nick Woodbridge. A pleasure to watch, a great delight to bring it to you. And Robert Kaza, he loves it. Chung Jin-ah came in fourth. There was Kurpolyansky, Davis Svoboda, all pushing it out here. Demeter Bence, the young Hungarian, he does his best to mirror the efforts of Robert Kaza, but all the glory and all the credit goes to Kaza, because he led from the outset. He was strong, he was composed, he had accuracy when he needed it.